Make sure the sound is okay. Okay. So, would you please tell us your name and your title?
Yeah, Steve Cara, State Representative, District 36. Cara is C-A-R-R-A.
So, where are you here today?
Well, this mega site for this electric vehicle battery plant is in partnership with China. Over $1 billion in state taxpayer money is going to go to here. That's over $100 for every person, every man, woman, and child in Michigan, in order for this private company with partnership and ties to the Chinese Communist Party to get this special deal. In a free market, all the companies should build their own buildings, sell their own products, and just do that without the assistance of the taxpayers' dollars. So this is unacceptable what's happening, and these types of things are happening more and more, not just only in our state, but throughout the nation, and it's a global machine that we're seeing here more and more of partnership of big corporations getting special deals from government. And it's a redistribution of wealth from the hardworking middle class to the politically connected, and that's a very big problem. Everybody should be concerned. So we already did, of course, the press conference over there at the VFW hall. That was nice that they allowed us to use the space there. But we just wanted to come down and show people the mega site location. This is where it's going to be built, right here behind us in this farm. So a lot of people from the community have voiced their concerns, whether it's with environmental concerns, just not wanting that atmosphere of an industrial park in their backyard or in their community. The national security risk that this brings, having Fort Custer just down the road a few miles. And then, of course, the economic concerns of people, whether you live here in the community, you might lose a small business might lose an employee, or, of course, the people throughout the state of Michigan who are having their tax dollars go to their competitors or other companies who get an unfair advantage. So we just want to raise awareness of what's going on here and the fact that the Michigan Constitution isn't being followed properly. You're supposed to get 2/3 votes in order to appropriate funds for private purposes. And what we're seeing here, we had 59 votes for this out of 110. They were supposed to get 74 votes to have a 2/3 majority. They only got a simple majority, but they circumvent the Constitution, calling this a public purpose, even though it's giving tax dollars from the hardworking middle class to a private company. That is private purposes. Just because you wordsmith around it in the bill doesn't mean that you can just violate the Constitution. It's unacceptable, and I would love to see legal challenges, and we'll do what we can in the state. Some of us legislators who want to fight against this. Representative Friske is here with us today, a good ally in wanting to bring awareness to this and challenge. We're supposed to follow the Constitution, not just work around it.
Would you please be interviewed? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, just introduce. Just stand at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. Would you
Yeah.
please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm State Representative Neil Friske. I'm from Northern Michigan, from the 107th District, and I'm just standing here to provide support to the local people. As Representative Cara mentioned, this is a constitutional violation. The Michigan Freedom Caucus is, looking to expose this kind of stuff, so that's why I'm here to help support the people here. Some of these people that are, standing right behind me, they live right down the road here. This is right across the road from their house, and so they're the ones that are directly impacted by it, and we want to just be involved in whatever way we can to keep the government in check. And what's going on here is just a violation on so many fronts, and we just can't allow it to continue.
Anyone else would like to be interviewed? Yeah, please. Okay, just a moment. Would you please introduce yourself, your name, and then what do you do?
I'm Connie Werman. I'm retired. I live in Marshall Township. I am very disgusted with the fact that the will of the people is not being followed. This is no way to run a democracy. Everyone is supposed to have a voice, but we don't have a voice. And they're not even telling us when meetings are or what is being discussed. Suddenly this is presented as a done deal. It is not a done deal, and we are not finished fighting it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
One thing I'd love to bring up a little history note anytime I can. The people of Marshall have this amazingly proud heritage here. There's a specific story of escaped slaves finding their way up here to this community, and their former owner actually tracking them down with bounty hunters to here and actually enlisting the aid of the local law enforcement and government here to recapture these slaves. And in Marshall here, the farmers, the community, the citizens banded together and they said, no, law enforcement, corrupt government doesn't matter. And they protected those escaped refugee slaves. And they actually got them safe passage all the way to Canada, where they were able to maintain their freedom. And it took others gathering around them from the state, all the way from Detroit even, gathering around to support them and protect them, because those farmers were being persecuted by the government. They were actually hauled into court and charged with crimes for protecting those fellow human beings. And the people of this state banded together around the people of Marshall, and they said, no. Just because you wind up in a position of power doesn't mean we're going to let you use it for evil. It needs to happen that same way still. This is not the heritage of Marshall. The heritage of Marshall is the U.S. Constitution and the freedom and the rights of everyone, not of the corporation.
May I have your name and what do you do?
Yes, ma'am. Justin Shots. And I have a YouTube channel, 68 Shots with 2 T's, and I try and expose local corruption and hold the government to proper accountability for the citizens.
Yeah, in the press conference, we heard that a lot of residents are worried about the foreign companies, Chinese Communist Party's company come here. Anyone want to say something on this topic?
I know that I can say, where has it been good for anyone to have partnership with the communist regimes? When has that ever worked out in anyone's benefit? This is the most short-sighted, imaginable thing that could happen. The White House could have just as easily made the stipulations to where Ford could not do this with China. Just as easily, it was an intentional loophole left open for this to be able to happen, for us to have this collaboration with a communist regime. And the fact of the matter is, we already have them snuck in on our university campuses. The Light Foundation for Chinese or Light Institute for Chinese Studies, I believe they're fraudulently called, but they're on Western Michigan University, Michigan State, U of M. There is an ongoing effort from the Chinese regime in China to take advantage of Michigan, to take advantage of our fresh water supply, of our resources, and they're hitting it at all angles. And we need to get wise to what's happening. We need to defend ourselves against it. Communism is on the rise. It's in South America. It's where a lot of people think it's not. And we have to defend ourselves from it.
Anyone want to share your comments? Because this is an opportunity for everyone to hear your comments. Yes.
Hi, my name is Julie Bryant. Hi, my name is Julie Bryant. I live in Marshall Township, and there's just so many reasons why this is not good for our area. And, environmentally, the fact about the taxes, everybody in Michigan would be paying for this, but only, say, Marshall or Calhoun County is benefiting. There's just so many reasons. Our national security, so the citizens, and many of that are here today. We are trying to organize. We will have a new Facebook page, Stop the China Ford Mega Site. Please take a look at it, add yourself, and support us. Thank you.
One last opportunity. Oh, please.
My name is Jan Corey Arnett, and I think one thing that's important to say is that the American people, we the people, are sisters and brothers to people around the world, and that includes the Chinese people. But when our own governments do us wrong, whether it's in China or the United States of America or a South American country or anywhere else, that is unfathomable. And what we need to realize is that we can create all the electric vehicles we want in the world. But if they are unsafe, if they don't truly benefit the environment, if lithium mining destroys lives and water supplies forever, what have we gained? We, the global people, need to stand together.
Thank you, thank you. You have something to say?
I think everybody has said it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, for, everyone. Maybe you could say something like on the sign. So together, someone just to say, you see?
Save historic
Yeah.
Marshall.
Someone,
save historic
Marshall. Someone, maybe you say first and
Okay,
then follow.
we'll do on 3, 2, 1.
Save historic Marshall.
Very good. We're doing it again? Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Save historic Marshall.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank
All right.
you.
Well, thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you.
There is also
Different shoes, gloves, and a hat.
glove underwear.
We all know.
Rick, did you meet Fred? No. My husband, this is Rick.
Call me anytime, sir. Anytime y'all need anything around here.
All right. Well, you know, I mean, to your point, though.
I'm going to get into your hands the alternative proposal to work with. Yeah. Yeah, I've written the one that's on the posting right now. That was just a preliminary document to show the value of the farmstead. But this is a proposal to actually work with Ford, let them do something, but a whole lot not of others, and make it the partnership we want. So I'll get that done. And when they were talking about doing that, they were I'm blanking out. I'm sorry. They were talking about
You might be out.
an
Look on the
area
map.
for like a
You can
state,
look on the
kind of like a
GIS.
state park, just down
there
in
was
the
something
is the
out.
only state in Michigan that doesn't have a state park. And when Enbridge
There's a
ruined
list.
our water in 12 years ago with $800,000